who do you serve? So if you are an independent freight dispatcher, maybe you wanted to become independent freight dispatcher, and obviously going into the market, solving problems, helping people. And then obviously, then you need to pick a niche or niche. It depends how you pronunciate this. It's really confusing. But the main thing is, the market. So you'll be serving people. So you are in a trucking business. Obviously, there will be um, the carriers. Obviously, there are many ways that you can classify carriers. Today, we'll be talking about the big semi trucks, obviously, and then the box truck. So this video will help you if you're thinking maybe going into business, becoming a carrier, buying those 18 wheelers, big semi trucks, and then maybe you're thinking, Kamal, I don't have a CDL. So I will start with the box truck. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just stick with me, and then we'll be going into details talking about these. So you are an independent freight dispatcher. I'm assuming that you are an independent freight dispatcher because we talk, mainly in this channel, we talk about business, entrepreneurship. We talk about trucking business, more specifically, starting your independent freight dispatching business. So, and you guys know the drilling. So if you have questions, I'll be taking your questions at the end. So we'll just basically go ahead and, talk about the carriers. And when I say carriers, people get confused about, they will, I would say, let me back up. Specifically, I would say newcomers. So people who don't know anything about trucking, and they heard somebody, they're in the trucking business, they're making a lot of money. Yes, this is a lucrative business. I want to start this business. But then obviously the terms, the terminology, it confuses people. So when people say carriers and on what I would say drivers, they get confused about this. Why? Because driver at the same time can be a person who owns a truck, right? And then he drives himself. But then the driver, well, this is what we know, is a driver is the company driver, right, who works for a carrier, and carrier has or owns the trucks. Okay, so I prepared this. I do have this PDF, so if you want to, I can send it to you. Just let me know. I'll just go ahead and talk about differentiating or classifying carriers. I think this is very important. So then we will build from there. So we'll know exactly who's a carrier, how we classify them. So if you know this, you can just skip this. But if you really need to know, Kamal, I really want to know this. And then obviously, if you classify carriers, when I say carriers, then you know what I'm talking about. And then we can start talking about, like, who do you serve? Do you really want to serve the semi trucks, or do you want to serve the box truck? And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just stick with me. It'll get clear at the end. So let's share this, and then we'll start talking about the types of carriers. Guys, the Department of Transportation, obviously they have their own terms, and then we, or business people, or the people who really wanted to start businesses, they get confused about this. So Department of Transportation, when they say carriers, and obviously we'll be talking about the classifications, because one man show, meaning one person who owns the truck and drives his own truck, he's a carrier, right? So the DOT says that, hey, this guy, he's a carrier, but he's an owner operator, right? So meaning he owns the truck and he operates his own truck. Now you little bit maybe confused, like, Kamal, like owner operator, and like, well, what about the carrier? You just said carrier and then you said owner operator. Don't confused about the company type and then the entity type. So we'll talk about this. This is very important. Remember, the company type and then the entity type. Okay. So carrier, it's think about it's a business. It can be like one owner or two owners or many owners. It doesn't matter. But this company owns trucks. Let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks or 10 trucks. So he's a carrier. He owns trucks, and then their drivers drive the trucks. Then owner operator is a specific term. He's also a carrier. Why? He owns his own DOT and MC number. He owns his truck, but he drives himself. He doesn't have like more than one truck. Think about it that way. He's an owner operator. He owns the truck. He operates his truck. So in general, there are a number of ways, right? DOT can classify, or we can classify, the carrier type. So let's talk about the carrier, the types of carriers. In general, there are a number of carriers, as I said. So let's talk about interstate and intrastate. And this might confusing interstate when I was starting out, and this is why I'm saying this, because people can get easily confused about this, because I was really confused about this interstate and intrastate. So basically, interstate is between states. This is what it means, right? And again, if you're a pro, if you know what I'm talking about already, maybe you're thinking, Kamal, well, this is like, I don't know, this is very basic, then you can skip this, right? So I'm focusing specifically like on those people who don't know this and they're basically starting out. So if you know this, obviously, you can add to your knowledge, but you can skip this if you know what I'm talking about. So interstate is between states. Obviously, there's a truck, goes from one state to another state. So intrastate is it's like confined. Think about like I'm in the one state. I'm not living. Well, I'm in the Georgia, right? So I'm in the state of the Georgia. So I'm not leaving Georgia. I'm like think about local. So then we can further classify them intrastate or interstate. Then we can classify them like, okay, are you a private carrier or you are a for hire carrier? So come on, what do you mean when you say private carrier? So remember, when we say carriers, right, there's two types. So we're qualifying them or classifying them intrastate or intrastate. So I am a intrastate. Why? Because my trucks go out of states. So from Georgia, it can go, I don't know, like Texas, whatever, right? So I'm going out of state. So I'm intrastate. I mean interstate. Then we need to pick one, right? Private carriers or for hire carriers. So what are the differences? Private carriers, think about Walmart, think about Amazon. They own the company, they own the truck, and they haul their own loads. Think about that way. So hauls only their own goods, right? Private carriers. So I'm not a private carrier. Why? Because I'm not a Walmart, I'm not an Amazon, I don't have a distribution center, I don't have a warehouse, so I'm not, hauling my own goods. So I haul other business, who, like, let's say they're manufacturers or distribution centers. I help them. So then I'm a for hire. Think about like somebody hiring me to haul their freight, right? Hauls goods for general public. So now I'm an interstate. The interstate. Now I'm for hire carrier. Now we're going further classifying the carrier, right? So then if I'm a for hire carrier and I'm interstate, then common carriers or contract carriers. So I'm not gonna focus on this because the 90% the carriers out there, they're common carriers, right? So it's basically, if you want to know it, these contract carriers, they don't publish the rates. Basically they're the contractors. Think about that way. So it's very specific. I'm not going into details. So think about, we are interstate, right? Interstate, we are for hire carriers, we are a common carrier. So common carrier works with general public, can be a company driver. Rates are published. When we say rates are published, that means we're booking loads using the load board. So we'll be coming back to the main topic today, like it's 18 wheelers or the box truck. So bear with me, because I'm not going into details talking about this, but here's the deal. When we said the owner operator, right? So there's a box truck owner. He's the owner operator. So owner operator or owner operators or independent drivers. Think about those who own, lease, and drive their own trucks. That's it. So now you know the carriers And let me see why it's blurry. Let me do this. There you go. So now we know that they're carriers, they're intrastate, they're interstate, and obviously then we're classifying them, they're private or for hire, then it's a common or contract, right? So Prime Express, meaning my company as a carrier, we are interstate. Okay, so then we are common carrier, for hire common carrier. So, and obviously I'm not an owner operator, even though I'm a carrier. So I want you to really focus on this one, and you need to get clear about this. So I'm not driving. So we have company drivers that they drive our, company trucks. So they are company drivers. When you say I'm looking for a driver, can you, Kamal, can you help me? Then I need to ask questions like, when you say driver, what do you mean? Like driver who owns a truck and drives his own truck, meaning owner operator, or the driver who works for a company who drives company trucks. And if you are targeting these people, the marketing message is totally different than this, meaning the owner operator who owns the truck and drives. So now let's talk about the who do you really want to serve? Semi trucks, big semi trucks, or the box truck. And this is very important. We need to talk about this before we go into detail. Box truck owners, they're not looking. If you are an independent freight dispatcher in the market right now, looking for a owner operator or a company to work or offer your services, box truck owners, they're not looking for a dispatcher. They're looking for a load, or they're looking for loads. I know it's confusing. Kamal, like if I hire, independent freight dispatcher, then he or she can help me find loads. Yes, but finding loads, or like loads, are primary focus for the box truck. We'll get there. So it's very, very. I know it's confusing, but bear with me. It's very important. Big semi trucks, carriers with 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 trucks, they're not looking for loads. Yes, they need loads, right, in order to survive in this business, but their not primary focus is not load or loads or freight. Their primary focus is independent freight dispatchers. Now we have the topic to talk about this, to discuss this, right? And obviously, guys, if you have questions, I see there are questions coming in. Just ask me. So if you need to come out like I'm really confused about this, please, I need just more clarification about this. What do you mean? So coming back, box truck owners, they're not looking for dispatchers. They're looking for loads, like today, right? Primary focus, loads, secondary dispatchers. Let's put it that way. Then big semi trucks, carriers with 5, 10, 15, any market. Think about car haulers, think about drive-in, think about flatbed, step deck, whatever. The primary focus is independent freight dispatchers. Freight secondary. Let me give you an example. Maybe you guys know, maybe some of you, or there's some of my students watching this, they know I'm in the import-export business. And I bring in a lot of construction materials from other, countries into the United States. And we have a lot of shippers, we have a lot of good brokers, we know a lot of distribution centers. So basically, we don't need load. So we have a lot of freight to haul, right? But then I have a goal. Let's say I need to buy more trucks so that I can expand my fleet from going 4 trucks, maybe up to 40 trucks or above. Think about that way. Then I need team members, right? So I have a lot of freight coming in, and I have think about like my own load board, right? So then I need help so that somebody can help me who understands the process. And obviously, independent freight dispatchers, they understand the process, right? I need independent freight dispatchers so that I can work with them. I'll show the process, and then I will turn and then focus on my business. This is what I want, right? So then next question will be like, or next logical question will be like, Kamal, okay, not everybody, they have, loads. Okay, well, I agree with that. Not everybody. But most of them, obviously, they're trying to like eliminate the broker. We can talk about, but I think this is the topic for another day. But eliminating the broker and then directly working with the shipper, they can, right? But then marketing strategy, marketing. Let's face it, not every carrier they're good at marketing, including myself. So then here's the deal: the market that we have, the trucking, the transportation, and now we're specifically talking about the semi trucks and then box trucks, right? So we're comparing them. We're going into detail, like talking about the markets. Don't you agree that this market designed for specifically for 18 wheelers, right? You see them a lot, right? About 90% out there. They're drive-ins, they're flatbed, and then car haulers. 18 wheelers is like, think about like 80-20 principle, like 80% out there, right? They're semi trucks. And the box truck is about 20%. And the freight industry, I don't think it was designed specifically for box truck. This is why it's hard to get freight for these guys, for box truck owners. And obviously there's some strategies that I teach my independent freight dispatchers, my students, how they can help their customers. So now you know that the market designed for the 18 wheelers. So going into this market, serving these people, meaning carriers with 4, 5, or 6 trucks, or 10 trucks. And by the way, the average in the United States, the one carrier has about six or seven trucks, right? So, or you can think about the most carriers, they will have about 6 or 7 trucks. Maybe you see those mega brokers that they have like hundreds of thousands of maybe trucks. And by the way, they don't own the trucks, right? So there's a company, in a way they're behaving like an independent freight dispatching business, right? But they might have their MC number, their DOT number. Then they have freight. Because of the liability, they just pass this liability to a carrier saying, hey, you own the truck, you own the trailer, we have a freight. So if you want to work with us, we have the freight for you. So, and again, this is a topic for another day. So then the question will be like, okay, Kamal, if I really want to focus on the box truck, why these like box trucks? And I had this the Q&A call, and then one of my students asked me this, Kamal, they're like, we are in the group, we're talking, and then I just post something, and then there are a lot of like box truck owners like hitting DMs and sending DMs saying, hey, I need your help, I need your help. And I said, yeah, because the market, it's not designed for them, meaning for the box truck. And obviously, when I say it's not designed for them, there is a way. The people, the box truck owners, they're focusing on the wrong market. They're trying to find loads using truckstop.com or DAT, let's say DAT Power Load Board, right? And obviously, the DAT Solutions as a company, they know that, okay, they're like new players coming into this, and we need to help somehow, and then they can find loads, meaning it's less than truckload, meaning the partial loads. But the strategy for box trucks, and again, if you are in the box truck business, the strategy for you is to focus on distribution centers, right? Going directly to distribution centers and saying, hey, I have 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks in maybe you're local, maybe you're regional. You can say that you can help them. In general, this is how it goes. But obviously, you know how to pitch your services to these guys. And I have a lot of families and friends in this business, obviously, and we talk about this business. I really want to go into detail because I help my students, because they have customers. They're serving box truck owners. And obviously, getting into this business is very easy. Buy a box truck, get an MC, get a DOT, and then you don't need CDL. So it's basically you can drive with your driver license. You don't need to get the professional CDL, commercial driver license. So if you really wanted to go in this business, but back to the question, if you really want to go to in this, serving these people, meaning box truck owners, then don't focus on a box truck owner who owns just one truck and he drives himself, right? So you won't make a lot of money with this. And again, then the second question will be, Kamal, like, what should I charge to these guys? And think about box truck owners, they don't make a lot of money. So it's basically, think about like a quantity and a quality, right? So for these guys, they need quantity, they need more trucks, right? So if they have more trucks, and obviously they're making more money with it. So if you have one, or maybe there's an owner operator or a carrier owns, I don't know, one or two trucks, it's really hard to charge 5-10%, or I don't know, 12% or 15% for these guys. I know when I say this, I get a lot of emails and a lot of message about this. Kamal, you said 10, 15 box truck. It's like a different world. But then think about, if you can help. Let's say if I can show you the way that you can help this owner operator with the box truck. Let's say he averages about 15,000 per month. If I can show you the way so that you can help him get 25K instead of 15K, think about like 10,000 plus, right? You're adding 10,000 to his gross revenue. Don't you agree that you can charge more, right? So it's all about like strategies and coming up with the tactics and the execution. So I really, really recommend focusing on carriers owning at least 4 or 5 trucks, semi trucks, big trucks, right? Why? Finding freight for them, obviously, it's easy. And then most of them, they will have, they're like direct shippers. And if they don't, then obviously they have already built a relationship with brokers. And again, when you're going into the business, then maybe you will have like questions like, come on, what they need me, why they need me, like they can, dispatch their own trucks. And again, remember, you can help them scale their business. Remember this, they're not looking for freight, they're not looking for loads, right? The loads and the freight in general is a secondary. So primary focus is actually finding dispatchers so that they can scale. And I'm right in front of you, right? So I want to scale my business. I really want to work with an independent freight dispatcher so that I can just show the process, focus on my business. Now you know. So I'll start taking questions. And let's see what happens. Okay, let's start with this. Clifton says, hi, Clifton. First of all, should I quit my $23 an hour job to become a truck driver? Okay, so obviously we're not talking about becoming a truck driver. We're talking about becoming an independent freight dispatcher. For those reasons, please make your own decision or decisions to become a driver. So we're not talking about becoming a driver. I know that, drivers make a lot of money, but so you make your own decision. So I have no idea about becoming a driver. So we're not talking about the driver, becoming a driver. So good question. Let's go. Ashraf says, so from an LLC as a foreign, non-resident, meaning you're outside the US, does it make any difference if I choose any state? Okay, say Wyoming or Texas. Okay, so you are outside the United States. So you want to choose a state, meaning starting your business or offering your services? I'm assuming you're saying I'm starting my business. The choosing this state obviously matters because of the tax purposes. And again, quick disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, so I can consult on this one. But obviously what I know, because I own, a couple of businesses, and I know that states matter because of the tax purposes. Right, that mainly because of the tax purposes. Yes, please consult with your CPA, or you can hire a CPA. Most of them, they will give you a 30 minutes free consultation, so you can leverage that. Good question. So there you go. I think, yeah, so other than Texas, or what is it? Taxes, Does it make any difference if I open my LLC in any state? Absolutely. The state you're running your business will dictate their rules, obviously, right? So, yes, it matters. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see. What about Dooley and okay? So basically, you mean Hotshot. Obviously, Hotshot, they're making a lot of money. Yeah. So, and again, this is what I recommend. This is what I see, my students, having success with. The 18 wheelers, big semi trucks, and then primarily they are in the flatbed market, right? So flatbed or step deck market. But again, so if you're an independent freight dispatcher and you're asking like, come on, what about like dually? What about like 40 feet long trailer? Like I have this Dodge or Ford, and then I have this trailer. Are you becoming a carrier, or you say, hey, come on, I have a friend that he has his equipment and I want to serve him? That's obviously a different question, but be clear, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay. Danielle, hi Danielle. He says, hi Kamal, hi. I will be joining your course soon. Okay. The question is, which kind of load? Okay, which kind of a load is more profitable? Reefer, flatbed, box, heavy haul. Okay. When I say flatbed market, usually most of the time my students will say, Kamal, because you are in the flatbed market, this is why. And in yes, the flatbed market did make a lot of money with this. In obviously with the heavy haul, they make a lot of money. But then think about like the the permits. The permits are expensive, right? So there are a lot of things going. Like if you say if you s- I- let me give you an example. I think this will um, you are in the flat, so I'm in the flatbed market. There's like, think about like a heavy haul. I'm in the flatbed market. I know this business ins and out, but y- you know the small, like permits, for example, right? So the small things that add up, then you compare these two loads, you are more profitable being in the flatbed market than this market, meaning the heavy haul, right? So I have a lot of friends in the reefer market. They make a lot of money with that, and but there's an the biggest issue they have, appointments, right? If you miss an appointment, if your friend or a person who hauls the ice cream and then he missed an appointment, then his family or friends, they have a lot of treats, like eating a lot of ice cream. So I had this, one of my friends. Well, there's several incidents that happened with these reefer. It's like appointment based. This is what kills them, but there's a lot of money to be made in the reefer market. Flatbed market, this is what I would say the profitable, and more profitable than this is the car hauling. Car hauling is really profitable if you're starting your own business, meaning you becoming a carrier. But if you say, Kamal, can I become independent freight dispatcher, know ins and outs of this car hauling business and start dispatching? You can make a lot of money with that, but then obviously there are a lot of scratches. There are a lot of issues with that too. But in general, car haulers, they make a lot of money. Good question. Okay. So obviously, Joshua says, I knew this question, will come up. What's the best load board, right? And why? Why this question? But obviously, this is like genuine question. It's a simple question, but because the market, and again, coming back to this, the market is not designed for box trucks, right? The market is designed for big semi trucks, right? And again, it doesn't mean that you can't survive in this business, you can't make money in this business. Obviously you can, but what I'm trying to say is that there's a different strategy and different tactics, right? That's what I mean. This is what I mean. Best load board that I would recommend is the DAT Power. Why? Because I don't know, the load board specifically for box trucks. I hear a couple of them. I'm not going to mention them here, but what I know is that people, making money with the DAT Power load board. You can find partial loads using the load board, the DAT Power Load Board. And why I'm not, maybe you're asking like, Kamal, why not just share the load boards, with us? But you said best. There's none, the best one. But there are some, load boards out there. But what I found is that, well, you can use DAT Power and make a lot of money, but this doesn't make sense because they charge a lot of money. Think about it hitting your overall, it's expensive, right? So you're making money, but you're not, including your, or not counting your, let's say, or taking into account your expenses, right? So you're saying, I'm paying like $600, $700, $800 for this load board, and then I'm making this, but then when it comes to the per mile, then you will see that you're actually losing the money. So paying $150 for a load board, and then you can use forever. So Joshua, best load board I can recommend, or I would recommend, is DAT Power for you. Okay, there you go. Khalil says, great question above. Assuming the best load board, what do you suggest as the best load boards for box cargo trucks? There you go. I told you this is an issue for box trucks. And again, DAT, I would recommend DAT Power for the box trucks. Okay, so we'll do another video and I will show you the tips and tactics. I have a little bit of I would say I know the strategy going into the DAT Power and pulling those box trucks, box truck loads. We can do sometimes this week. Okay. There you go. So as a new independent dispatcher, how many people do I take? Okay, so meaning you want to serve the carriers, but you don't know how many carriers, or you want to know how many carriers you can serve. When you're starting out, you can easily serve 5 carriers. I mean, the 5 trucks. One carrier can have 5 trucks, or they're like 2 or 3 carriers. Maybe one carrier has 2 trucks, the other one has 5 trucks. The 3 trucks, whatever. But 5 trucks, this is you can easily do that. Okay, let's do this. Ashraf says, thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. This is why we're here. I'm talking about as an independent freight dispatcher to open an LLC. Yes, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, you ask about states matter. Obviously, yes. Any states, for tax purposes, for business purposes, yes, states matter. Absolutely. I have a lot of friends outside of Georgia. They have different rules, obviously. And you know what? I'll share this, this with you. And I was talking to one of my friends, and then I said, think about like each state in the United States, they're like different countries. Think about, like, yeah, Georgia is a different country, Florida is a different country, California is a different country, New York is a different country. We are united. This is why it's United States of America, right? So I said, we are like different states, but think about, we're like different country. I'm in a different country. Alabama is a different country. Texas is a different country. They have their own rules, right? So yeah, because of that, for those reasons, matters. Absolutely. Okay, so Khalil says, what are the other load boards that you know for box trucks? Truckstop.com, this is what I know. Let me see. I know Selectus, I think. I never used it. I never recommend. Why? Because I'm not using it. So what I heard is that it's expensive. Then DAT, Power Load Board. These are the 3 that I know. Hope that answered your question. Okay. Do you have any location, Toronto, Canada, for in-person training for freight dispatching? Okay, cool. First of all, I don't. But the second is this. Why in person? Like, why in person? Do you think if you come into this office, and obviously, yes, one-on-one interaction will be different, but I will follow the exact same strategy. So I have the framework, right? I have the framework. So I'll be doing my business over there. And then here is the course. I will say, hey, finish this course. Whatever you have questions, We will meet on Monday and Thursday, Monday 2 p.m., 12 p.m., and Thursdays 3 p.m. And then you will be asking questions. That's it. I'm not gonna do anything like it's just like there is a framework, there is a course, we need to go. You need to finish this. Yes, obviously there will be rate confirmations. You'll be asking questions on Mondays and Thursdays. It won't change, right? So second option, maybe you were saying like, Kamal, okay, I really want to be like right next to you. This is how I learn. To me, it's like I don't agree with that because I have experience with that. So then it will be inexpensive. I'm not saying, myself, but if you found, let's say, if there isn't a company in your location, let's say, right, it's close to you, you will go there. First of all, they're not going to teach you ins and outs of business. That's for sure, right? Specifically carriers. Why? It's nothing wrong with that. It's basically they're focusing on their businesses, right? They're busy. So if you say I want to work for the company, but it's a different story, but then again, they will be like, okay, focus on this specific thing, meaning calling brokers. That's it. They're not going to teach you ins and outs of this business, the tactics, the strategies, and then obviously starting your own business because business aspect of this is different, right? So hope that helps. Yeah. So you don't need in person. Trust me, you don't need in person training. So if you need in person training, it will be expensive. There will be people charging thousands of dollars for this. Time is money, obviously, right? So your best bet is joining the program, and I would recommend a coaching program where you have a lot of other students, and you have the coach, the mentor. It's there for you, right? So that is important. Khalil says, thanks, you're welcome. Okay. Let's see. We have one truck and starting our dispatching company. Okay. Do we need a new LLC or can we use the same trucking LLC? Okay. This is where most people will make mistakes about going into this business. When you become a carrier, and again, so I'm not right. I'm not a lawyer. This is like quick disclaimer. If I say to you something is just for educational purposes, you make your own decisions. This is very important, right? So I will obviously show you the way, but then you're making your own decisions. I'm not forcing you to do this. Like, hey, you must have second LLC. You're making your own decisions, please. So independent freight dispatching. Wait for it. It's important. It's not trucking. Independent freight dispatching, it's not trucking. Trucking is different. Therefore, you make your own decisions, right? You can dispatch your own trucks. There's no problem. You have a truck, you have load board or load boards, you're dispatching your truck, no problem, right? Nothing illegal here. You can grow your business, no problem. You're good to go. And obviously, you're reporting your earnings and for tax purposes, whatever this trucking company makes, you have to file taxes for it. But if you say, Kamal, my business model is I'm focusing on my business, yes, but then I know how to dispatch trucks and I know how to build business out of this. I want to serve other people who own the trucks, right? Then obviously you are in the different business model, right? You're now, yes, this company, meaning your trucking company, is a service-based company. This is a second service-based company. The model in this is totally different. Don't be confused. I see a lot of people coming from other people and then watching a lot of videos. They coming in and they file their LLCs and then boom, I teach totally different. There's a crap. It's yeah. Independent freight dispatching business. Okay, I will share with you. It's a management company. It's not a trucking company. Okay, hope that helps. Okay, so Ashraf says you're a nice person. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see. Is it important to know the weight of empty trucks? Yes. Before we even, go further along, but I would say yes, absolutely, is important. If so, where can I find okay, the information online? I don't know, but you can now obviously you can, Google it and, it will depend obviously. It depends on the truck and trailer, what type of truck, what type of trailer. Do you want to know the weight for the truck with the trailer or without, or just a bobtail, or do you looking for or are you looking for like the regulations as far as weight regulation in the transportation? Then obviously you can Google it. But I remember, I think I made a video about this. I'll let me see. So I'll post, if I have that video, I'll post right after this video. Okay, so let's see. There you go. Okay. So, hi Kamal. Hi, it's Vahan. Hi Vahan, one of your students. Okay, I have an offer to merge with Carrier with own authority. Okay, so you will have your own MC and your own DOT. What will your advice? Is it worth, okay, or better to stay independent? My advice, I think my recommendation is, well, when let's say if you have MC and then you have a DOT, then you're becoming a carrier. So this as simple as that. You need to know this, right? So you're not an independent freight dispatcher. I just said it, but if you missed it, please rewatch this. I said independent freight dispatching. If you're a student, definitely you know this, that you are a management company. You are not a trucking company. So when you become a trucking company, now it messes up, right? But nothing wrong with the business model. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to be precise as far as your business model, right? And then you need to know your goals. Okay, so if you want to serve other people, then obviously you can, with your own authority, meaning you will have your MC number and DOT number, you are becoming a carrier. Then you're not an independent freight dispatcher. Then maybe, I'm assuming, maybe you mean, by saying this, you mean like, hey, Kamal, there will be an owner operator with his MC number and DOT number. He is a carrier, and then I'll be dispatching my own services. Then obviously this is what I teach, right? So you stay as an independent freight dispatcher and dispatch your services. Yeah, so my recommendation, stay as an independent freight dispatcher. You can grow this business, no problem. But if you wanted to merge into becoming a carrier, absolutely you can do that. So let's see. Hi, Kamal. I want to join the trucking industry as an owner operator. Okay. So you want to buy the truck, buy the trailer, and become an owner operator. What's the average profit you can make weekly working 6 days a week? So, first of all, we're not hiring right now the owner operators. We're out of capacity right now. But if you really wanted to talk to us, I'll link the I'll put the email address so you can email. We can hop on a Zoom call, discuss your business, where you at, where your goals. Then obviously I can, based on the equipment type, then I can say something. But without dissecting your business, going into details about your business, I can't say anything. I can make you a lot of money. I can make you zero. It's based on the goals you have, the type of equipment you have. Hope that makes sense. Okay, a lot of thanks. You're welcome. Okay. Barry says, hi, Kamal. Hi. Love your videos. Thank you. Can you please explain which is the best way to get paid after we have dispatch loads to. Okay. So you have a carrier, you have a load board. So you found a load, you negotiated with the broker sends you the rate confirmation, and then you have that rate confirmation. You calling the driver saying, hey, we have a load, pick up this load in Atlanta, Georgia, for example. He goes and picks up, delivers in Houston, Texas. Then what happens is that then driver will send you the POD. POD stands for proof of delivery, and then the rate confirmation. So signed rate confirmation. Well, obviously you have the copy of the rate confirmation. The thing he will be sending you is the proof of delivery. So now you take the rate confirmation and proof of delivery, which was POD. Then you have two options. One option, as an independent freight dispatcher, if you're working with factoring companies, then it's easy to get paid. You're basically uploading these documents to factoring company, and then factoring company pays you first, then the carrier. Or you're like it's the traditional way of doing business. It's actually the sending an invoice to a carrier, and then carrier pays you. Hope that makes sense. And obviously, this is in general, and it's we don't have to like time to go like step by step. With the strategy and tactics how you can do this, but this is how it works basically. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me take this question. It's um what kind of immediate value can you provide a carrier in the prospecting phase by charging more? That's the value that I bring. Yes, in confused, some people will get confused about this. Yes, by charging more, I bring a lot of value in prospecting phase. So when you said prospecting phase, this prospecting phase, it says to me that the marketing, the lead generation, the lead gen system and whatever. But if you say that, I'm assuming what I mean by saying charge more, right? This is the value. This is the immediate value, as you said, in the prospecting phase. This is very important. Okay, thank you again. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let's take this question. Let me see. I'm watching you in my okay, and I'm very lucky that you are here to answer our questions. Absolutely. Can you tell me again your timing for both days again? Yeah, it will be Tuesdays and Fridays. This is where we focus. Sometimes we miss, but it's Tuesday and the Friday. Friday we're trying to do is like basically Fridays we're trying to the consistency is important, so we're trying to hit this 3 p.m. mark. But again, we have this analytics in the back office. We see there's like different time frame. Obviously, a lot of people emailing Kamal. I missed it. I really want to ask like questions live, but yeah, we're sticking Fridays 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. It's actually 5 p.m. But sometimes we start early. For example, 4 p.m. and we'll go maybe up to 5:30 or 6 p.m. It's like 2 hours or 1 hour. It depends on the questions. So let's see this. Okay, Sadik says, I'm just starting my trucking company. I need a hardworking dispatcher, make money for him. Okay, and for my company. Okay, if you have one, please. Thank you. Okay, so you're looking for independent freight dispatcher. So if you're looking for independent freight dispatcher groups, your best friends, go there and ask people. If you didn't, and by the way, guys, if you're watching this, there's a link in the description below. There's a group that we have. It's about 10,000 members. It's really engaging. There are a lot of independent freight dispatchers. There are a lot of brokers and carriers as well. So please join. And then obviously there will be, like, if you are really interested in becoming independent freight dispatcher, there's a free startup guide right below this video, so you can just download and learn about how to become independent freight dispatcher. So I highly recommend joining the Facebook group. There is a link below. So what we will do is that we will end the live training. I hope you guys get the value out of this training. Let's meet on Friday, 3 p.m. and I'll be posting. I'll have the I do have the topic for the Friday. But again, if you really want me to cover specific topic, please on the comment section type whatever the questions you have, or maybe there's something that I didn't cover and you want me to cover, and then have the live training on based on that topic. Then I definitely will do that. So let me see. Ashraf says, "Is your training program be recorded one or live? Both. Remember, the framework I have is the step by step. It's a pre-recorded videos, but again, it's not a course. It's the coaching program. So you will watch the videos. Obviously, it's everything is there, right? Everything is there. When you finish, basically, you are the independent freight dispatcher. You're ready to launch your business. This is where I come in. And then there will be Q&As every Mondays and Thursdays. So Mondays 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then Thursdays 3 p.m. And then we get a lot of questions. It's a group coaching setting, so there are a lot of, it's what's good about, the group coaching is because there are a lot of people in the different levels. There's like newbies, and then obviously there's like people making, I don't know, 5K, or let's say, 4 figure or 5 figures, and there's students like, 6 figures and 7 figures. They're like, in this group. And obviously 6 figures or 5 figures, then asking different questions, specifically marketing questions, and then you learn about these, like the marketing strategies and tactics, obviously. And if you're a newbie, if you just completed, you don't know what to do, and obviously I'm there with you. Whatever the questions you have, I'll do my best to help you there. So that is that. And then let's do that. Let me take one more question, and then we will um end the Q&A. So let me take this question. Will you there live? Yes. Every Mondays and Thursdays will be there for Q&As. Absolutely. So let me take this question, and then we will end the Q&A. So I'll be getting my LLC on Friday. Congratulations. I have tons of notes from videos and classes I've been in. Okay. Watch multiple videos of speaking to brokers in order to get loads. How? Okay. Okay. So the last part, I think, brokers in order to get loads. How do you know when you exactly to book? Not really. So do you mean like when you should book loads? That means when you have, your LLC. So let me multiple videos. Okay. So you have a lot of information already. So you basically want to know like when exactly you should book a load. Well, I would say obviously the first step in this business is actually starting a business, right? You structuring your business, right? You're filing your documents, you're becoming legal. And again, there will be like people like, why? Well, you don't need an LLC, but don't listen to them. So if you are in a business, and specifically if you're managing other people's money, even though maybe it's like $5 or $500,000, if you are in the management business, then obviously trucking, I mean, the dispatching is a management slash consulting business. Please do more research about this. Then obviously you need to have some sort of documents, like legal documents, that you are a legit person that can dispatch loads. So obviously first process starting your business. Second, before going into booking loads, I would say online presence, working on your marketing strategies. Get there. I know you're saying, Kamal, I already have the carrier, and then I have load boards I need to start. But you like, man, you need well-oiled marketing machine that works 24/7, brings in leads, so that then you have systems that converting into customers. Because if you have just one customer, you are not in the business, right? So what if this guy leaves you, right? And you have a lot of expenses. So they're like consistency, like constant leads, like every day. You should be generating leads every day. This is very, very important. So if you're not generating leads, you're just focusing on one customer so that you can start in dispatch, man, you're missing a lot. So the marketing is first, like, I mean, the second. So then obviously you start marketing, then you have this carrier, you have a load board, and obviously you talking to this carrier. And again, so using this word is very important, like dissecting his business into smaller pieces so that you can see what are the problems he has. Then you start offering your services. And obviously you ask questions like, the availability is important. Like if I'm dispatching for tomorrow, like, Kamal, so what about your drivers? Are they available tomorrow? Then I said, yeah, 2 of them in Atlanta, Georgia, and then you can start booking loads tomorrow, right? And again, where, like, origin, destination. If you don't know, then obviously you're asking a driver, right? Hey, where you at? Like, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So you're available for, I don't know, for a couple of weeks? Yes. Then you start booking loads from Atlanta. If I go anywhere, like nationwide, then you have a lot of options. But me specifically, I do Georgia to Texas, and coming back from Georgia to Atlanta, or the Texas to coming back to Georgia. So there will be specific um, carriers that they pick and choose specific lanes. Okay, hope that helps. Let me see. Let me take this question. Man, these are the good questions. Bojan says, how would you organize the marketing machine? Okay, that's cool. Well, because we ran out of time, so I'm just taking like last questions. Or at least how to start marketing. At least how to start marketing is start, planning. This is how you start the marketing, basically, right? Without the plan, I won't recommend. So if there's like, if you're thinking like I can just go there and ask people to work with you, that's, yeah, it is a marketing, right? It's marketing is basically you're taking your message to out there and saying, hey, I'm here, like I can dispatch, let's work together. That is a marketing. But then obviously you become, you work on your strategies, then coming up with the tactics so that you can execute on this strategy. This is very important, right? And overall, this is called marketing. So how I do it, I basically, I just map out the marketing plan first, right? So there's different channels. What should I do? Am I like marketing, for example? This is like I'll share with you guys this. Like, what about trade shows, right? Going in person, that is marketing. For that specific way of marketing, that channel, like a different strategy and different tactics. Okay. So if you say, Kamal, I'll be leveraging social media, so that I can build this well-oiled machine, so that I can so that it can generate consistent leads 24/7, 365. Then obviously it's a different strategy. So first I come up with the marketing plan, then when I have this plan, and then I will start working on my strategies. Okay, so I'll just pick one channel, for example, Facebook. Then I will go, okay, should I pick like paid? Should I do free? Yes, I teach my students getting customers for free. Yes, for free, getting customers. Obviously, there's the tactics and then there's the strategies. Obviously, coming back to Facebook, choose one. The channel, for example, Facebook. Then am I doing like paid? If paid, total different strategy, total different tactics, right? And obviously money involved. With this marketing strategy, free, like Facebook, free marketing strategy. Then obviously what I have like as a free marketing, I want to do like organic outreach. Then I will go, for example, coming up with the strategy and tactics. So as you can see, it can go into like million different ways. This is why when you have a marketing plan, then coming up with strategies, executing it helps you tremendously. So plan, coming up strategies, tactics to execute the strategies. That's what it is. So again, let me see. Let me take this. Perfect. You got a section of notes on speaking to carriers and okay in their needs. Definitely appreciate. Yeah, absolutely. In the training, I have the ultimate conversion script. That, we came up with this. We actually built this the script that our students talk to carriers. It's like this is where the business starts, right? You start talking to your carriers, and obviously you're not asking like, well, yes, you are asking like, how many trucks do you have, what are your lanes, but it's more than that, right? Carriers don't work with you just because how many trucks I have or they have, or what are the lanes. No, there's more than that. And obviously talking to brokers, obviously the script is really important. You're not saying whatever you want, right? There's a script. Okay. Absolutely. I hope that it helps. Okay, so man, Ahmed, I came late. I definitely have a lot of more questions. Cool. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, Bojan, I'll take your question and then we'll end the Q&A. So, okay, no paying Google. Google is one channel, so you can pay forever. But can you suggest use some, good Facebook group to start? Absolutely. This is what it's booming right now. And again, guys, I'll share with you guys this. Facebook changing a lot of algorithms and a lot of strategies and tactics. Like the Facebook going into a different world. That world called Facebook groups. If you're not there, if you're not starting your Facebook group, you're missing a lot. You're missing a ton of money on a table. Facebook group. Facebook group. I can say this all day long. This is very, very important. Cool. Awesome questions, guys. I hope you get value out of this. Please, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. Turn on that bell notification, guys. If whatever I post, you'll get notified. Please like this video. If you have questions, let me know. If you have a specific question as far as Kamal, please cover this topic. I want to know about this topic. Let me know in the comments below, right? In the comment section. Say, Kamal, I need, this. Can you make a video on this topic? I'll make it. I'll just, take and see how many, people like voted or how many people have this same question. Then I will just take it and then make a video for you guys so that I'll do my best to help you. And as you can see, guys, I try my best to serve you. Okay, so well, I think it was great Q&A. Thank you for all of your questions. You guys are awesome. Let's meet on Friday, and then we'll go from there. Be safe out there. Bye now.